Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Swami Chinmayananda at the United Nations. So I actually found this myself, and I am curious as to what if whoever went to the United Nations to speak, I'm curious as to what they had to say to essentially most of the governing nations. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Planet Crisis. 1992.
That the world progresses forward, and you and I will have to adapt to the new conditions available around. If we are not able to adapt, nature has no compunction. It will wipe us clean. Have they not? Many plants have become extinct in nature. Many animals have become extinct in nature. Why? They were not able to adapt themselves to the new environments available around.
I will say I do like the way he speaks. I don't know why. It's very interesting.
If man also is not conscious enough, is not smart enough, is not intelligent enough to understand the nature of the situations around and try to change himself. Change means adapt himself to the new environments. Is it so sad in this world that nature's law works and is extinct? Is not Roman Empire died away, Greek Empire disappeared, Mesopotamia gone? All are great cultures, great people. The greatest heroes were brought at that time. Literature, everything was there. What happened? Where are they now? Why they were wiped out? They were not able to adapt themselves in a new system that is arising around and about themselves. Don't you think that we have changed? We have come to a point where the old methods can no longer be a remedy for the sufferings that we have got. Okay? Why? Because the source is something different. It is not physical. We are comfortable. Nobody can complain that the worldly physical conditions, there are poverty, no doubt. It's not emotional, it's not intellectual. With these levels, we are the objective scientists are trying to find out all the remedies of it. But when you sit back and think, why this problem of aid? Why this, the various sorrows in the world? Economic upset, poverty, disease, mutual rancor. No two countries can sit together and look at each other, each angry with the other. Why? When you thus analyze this cause of things and hunting for the cause of effects is called the intellectual method of analyzing and understanding the world outside. Causation hunting is the preoccupation of the human intellect. This is how all sciences develop, inquiring into cause of things. Why is it that we are suffering? In spite of our continuous effort, our goal is clear, and we are putting forth all our effort, as much as you can, as never ever before in the history of mankind. And yet, by the time you solve probably...
Sorry, I'm going to rewind that real quick. Okay. I thought I was seeing things, but it was very odd. Unless I missed the other ones. There's a U...
Yeah. And we are putting forth all of our effort, as much as you can.
As much as you can. The letter U. Why was that one shortened? Let me see if CC does the same thing. No, it did not. Someone wants a text messages. But 1992 though, it's very. I don't know why that just really threw me off. So far I think, unless I missed it, everything's been spelt out.
As never ever before in the history of mankind. And yet, by the time you solve probably a problem, 10 different problems arise.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so? What is the spring? Where did all these sorrows come? All of these problems come? When they analyzed, they found a wondrous truth, which ordinarily the materialist or the scientist may not immediately accept it. But the world outside is an echo, a reflection of our mind. Right? The one Swami is talking. You are all intelligent people listening. Can I say that all of you are understanding in the same way? It cannot be. You interpret and receive the idea and interpret it according to your mind. He understands it with his mind. So your world outside is ordered by, governed by, controlled by your mental attitude.
You know, I was wondering, like, how many of these people listen to people like him and go, you know, this is very wise stuff. Let me go bring this home and tell it to the people. I'm sure by the time they get to the airport, they forget everything. And everything goes back to, you know, the same thing every day and every day, day in and day out. I mean, I suppose if many people watch, I guess there are some people out there who watch the UN, I guess, address. And whenever that people speak, a few people probably watch it, or a few people, and hopefully they take something from it, even if it is these people who have a lot of power, and, you know, they're already, in a sense, not suffering because, you know, they have a lot of money, they have a lot of power, so, you know, they're not suffering from, you know, malnutrition or living in rough neighborhoods or worrying about when their next paycheck's gonna get there or they have enough money. You know, I mean, in a sense, he is talking to the right people. You know, the people who are not worried about money, food, or anything like that. They somehow find, you know, once hunger, thirst, and shelter is taken care of, 99 other problems come up. Whereas the poor, you know, they know what to worry about, and all the other 99 problems are small problems compared to the 3 that they have. And it's all the rich that seems to have 900 billion problems because they have $9 billion in the bank, you know. Their problems equate to the amount of money they have, it seems. It's really weird. While the poor only has one problem, that's money, because that money will get them food, shelter, and water. It's so strange.
Haven't you heard people saying that this world is a hell? Haven't you heard the people saying that is a heaven? Successful people would say that is a wonderful world. Unsuccessful people would say that, where can I get potassium cyanide? Why? I want to die. See? Why? The same situation. The sun and the moon and the stars and the atmosphere and the elements are the same. Yet one feels it is a wonderful field, another feels most miserable. Even in your house. Maybe your elder son thinks that, no, daddy and mummy, aha, it is heaven. And the younger fellow thinks that, no, I am waiting for getting 18 years old so that I can get out of these wretched people. Hey, parents are loving him completely, fully. Yet his interpretation is that he is in hell. These mental disturbances, indisciplined mental disturbances, prompts everyone to live on the instincts and impulses of the mind. Every moment. Utterly selfish, heartlessly desiring everything in the world outside, wanting to acquire, possess, embrace, indulge and enjoy. There you are, like any cattle. We live only at the mental level at this moment. All of us have got the intelligence to analyze and realize that what I am doing is wrong, but you have not got the strength to live up to it. There is nobody who doesn't know that he is immoral. Nobody in this world is there who knows that drinking is bad, smoking is ruinous. And yet, ask them, why are you then drinking? Swamiji, it's not that I don't know it. I know, but I can't live up to it. Everyone. Cheating, or telling a lie, or becoming angry and cruelty and criminal nature. It's not that you don't know it, but you say that I'm sorry, I cannot be away from it. I am compelled to do things. See? Now then, friends, each individual is a unit in this universe, in this world. And all these individuals put together is called the community, or the nation, or the world itself. Apart from the individuals, there is no world. All of you put together without any distinction and differences, all your minds put together is the world outside.
So I'm smiling because his voice range goes from screaming loud to going down slow, and loud and going down low. It's a particular pattern he does. He just like explodes and then he slows it down gently for you. So impactful, and then he gently caresses you. So I love the little different patterns that every guru and Swami does. It's, well, not every guru and Swami. They have their little what do you call it? I don't know what I forgot what I called it, but it's just their little thing that they do. Lakhani always takes off and removes his glasses all the time. I'm afraid he's going to poke out his eye. Sadhguru lifts up his legs and sometimes switches between them, or usually sits on one. But I heard that was more like a type of state that he gets into. I tend to put my legs up too, but I got to switch it around because it might cut off circulation.
So if the majority of the minds are selfish, arrogant, utterly egocentric, vulgar, without a character, that society, that community will have the same character. The nation, there is no nation, only a country where a population lives. There is no integrity between them. And internationally, no understanding. Individual, through individual perfection alone, world perfection can be aspired. This is the conclusion arrived at by the great thinkers of the past. In all scriptures of the world, I am not talking of Vedanta or the Indian textbooks. Is not Bible saying the same? Is not the Quran saying the same? Is the Brahmapada or the Buddhist saying the same? Every great master who has given enough thought to it has understood that the cause for the sorrows of the world outside is the imperfection or the disturbance of your own mind.
Let's get a good image of him here. So I do wonder, like, how many of these take him seriously. I mean, I'm wondering how many of them thinks it's like a joke, or like he doesn't know what he's talking about. Obviously, there are a lot of people in the Western world that if you're not intellectually smart, that you're kind of like a buffoon to a degree. People look at paperwork and PhD and think that you're super wise, but paperwork and PhD is not wisdom. It's is intelligence, in my opinion. Wisdom's a completely different story. Wisdom, in my opinion, is in some sense superior to intellect. Only because with wisdom you're able to adapt, you're able to read things, you're able to, I don't know, read things so that you can adapt to become better and you can understand things better. Whereas intellect, in my opinion, is more book focused, and you're too hyper focused on one thing that you're not good at very many other things. Because don't get me wrong, intelligent stuff is very difficult, but you're too hyper specialized, and that's kind of the downfall of it. But also the greatness of intelligence is that, people who become doctors, they have to focus on their field, and then obviously intelligent people can be wise too, but there are some people who lack wisdom, and I genuinely hope that a lot of people can take up wisdom as little amount, just enough to be able to be wise enough to know certain things, like how pills aren't going to solve your problems, how making more money, or don't get me wrong, make as much money as possible, but obviously money's not going to solve all problems. It will solve a lot, but not all problems. What else? But yeah, I genuinely think, again, I've said this before, that wisdom is severely lacking. It is wisdom in the past, wisdom currently. It's a drop, and intelligence slightly increase. It should be a lot. Actually, it's quite dramatic compared to the past because books and schools are more accessible. But I think it's dropping too. It's like, so not only did we sacrifice from wisdom to try to gain some intelligence, but intelligence is also going down just because there's some videos I want to react to them. I hope they're not going to get blocked. So long as it's not blocked, it's fine. Claim whatever, but it's just to prove my point, and I think I'll do that next, hopefully. But yeah, I think, and I do believe this to be in developed areas, not necessarily just nations, because even in the poor countries or areas, I do believe there's a lot of wisdom there. They understand how rough life is. Not all the time, but I do think there's significantly more wisdom in poor areas because they understand that life is rough. Money's limited. You have to be wise about your spending. You can't just blow your money on like expensive food or expensive items. You have to manage your money. And it's not saying that all poor people will have this ability, but I do believe that it has more significance to them because they have that understanding, that wisdom of what it's like to be poor. Although, there are Americans out there who hit the lottery, who won more money than they can have in 10 of their lifetimes and become broke 6 months later. That is true. So amazing. $600 million. 6 months later, they are broke and they wish they never won the lottery. It's so crazy to think about, imagining winning so much money, and it's because they lacked the wisdom, and they were poor too, but they didn't have any wisdom in terms of how to handle money, or even intellect to learn about how to handle your money. Wisdom or intellect, learn it the way, or be wise enough to know that money is not something that just manifests in thin air. You have limited amount. But anyways, a lot to talk about with what he said. And I know I need to watch all the gurus and Swami who went to the United Nations. I want to hear all their speeches because I do wonder what they address. 1992, and he's talking about, the situation, which I feel now is worse than it was before, just because I guess technology and people's ways of living has been upscaled, or how to say, has gotten better. It's sad to see that as your living condition gets better, more problems tend to arise. Again, Sadhguru said this, hunger one problem, hunger solved 99 problems. Like, how does that make sense? but it's something that I see in the United States, and you can even in current times. It's really weird. You live in such a country that has no real wars, has no real big issues, has no real big issues, but it creates its own issues, which becomes big. Let's put it that way. And it seems like it's going on in Europe, and I've heard some people say it's kind of going on in India. It's going on in China, actually. China is having a big issue too. I don't know. Japan kind of has an issue. Most of Europe, Africa. I've not heard too much in Africa. Whereas in South America, it's kind of poor for the most part. So they're still handling the poor issue, which is a real deal issue. Whereas these other countries are different. They're not poor issues, but they're just issues. Yes. I can't specify because I've heard a few things. They seem like societal issues. They're not dealing with hunger, water, or food. Those three major issues dealt with, and now 99 other problems are arising because those three problems are dealt with. It's really crazy. Anyway, that's my reaction to H.H. Swami Chinmayananda. Chinmayananda, yes. I haven't seen him in a while because I reacted to, I think, most of his videos, or at least the ones that I found, at the United Nations. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.